Hi, everybody. Janine can't make it tonight, so I thought I would jump in for a half hour and see if anybody wanted to chat or have a reading. So we'll see if people come in. Everything's propagating right now. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. We're about at the end of the weekend here. And I've been busy writing and busy doing readings. And so Janine and I have some ghost stories to tell, but we're going to wait until she comes back, and which should be next Sunday, and we'll see if we can get some people to come on that can talk about their ghost stories also. So we haven't been here for a while, so we'll just see if this propagates and some people come in. And let me tell you about Maddie Tarot and I on Monday tomorrow. We have Mystery Monday and free readings at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And we're going to have fun. We're going to do trivia tomorrow. How much do you know about Maddie and me? And the person that gets the most right answers wins an Amazon gift card. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesdays, we'll be doing free readings, giving out a lot of wisdom to everybody. And then on Friday, we have a special thing. We're kind of keeping it a little mum right now. But it's going to be a lot of fun and a surprise for all our viewers. So that's Maddie, Tarot, and Debbie on Friday. Hi, Aura. Hi, Carlos. Everything's good. How are you guys? I am coming on because Janine couldn't make it. So I decided to come on and do readings or chat about whatever you guys want to talk about. I really kind of feel like right now that there are a lot of things happening. I know in my house and stuff where more, paranormal activity. And I'm wondering if anybody else is experiencing that because it's a big thing. Synchronicity, hearing names and things like that. A lot of stuff is happening right now. Hi, Kim. Oh, great. We have people coming in. So, again, Janine couldn't make it. So, I am here and I can do readings. I can answer questions if you want. I had a big long reading today where the person had lots of questions about manifesting, a lot of questions about paranormal and what to do about it. You've been seeing a lot of angel numbers. Carlos, what numbers have you been seeing? There's so many signs, and people may overlook them or they may not even realize that they have meaning, and they do because they put out stuff all the time. Well, Carlos, you saw 909, which is my number. That's neat. And let me see. Let me bring you up there. 909 and 999. Do you look that up, Carlos, like in the angel numbers book? Or do you look online? Or is this number a meaning that you know about? 909 for me was one about my work and my career. And that was spot on for me. I see it all the time in all my life. And it really is a direction for work and to, make sure that I am working with God and God's bringing in everything for my career. So you have new beginnings. And let me go to the next one here, new beginnings. Or you feel really heavy energy for your dreams, um, feeling really heavy energy. Um, I really do feel like that when we have heavy energy, we need to clear out everything. So always, and dreams, you should write them down and see if you can get a message that way. But, if a dream was one that you don't want to have again, then you should talk to the archangels and any, the good angels or your spirit guides. We want to change that. But sometimes it's our brain that's working when we do dreams. But heavy energy, you should always try to clear out. clear it out so that you feel really light and lifted. Um, let's see. Carlos says, "Oh, yours mean completion and new beginnings." I love that. Hi, Melanie and Christy Pepper. Hello. So we're talking um, about paranormal stuff or any questions that you might have for me. What's going on? Because I feel like there's a lot more spirits coming in and being around. There's a lot more technology going crazy, stuff like that right now. Oh, they're premonitions or premonitions. Wow. Do you find that the premonitions then are valid? They come in and they are valid. Are they only to you or are they to the world? I'd like to know that. Um, I know my premonitions go mostly around my kids, where I'm like, one time I just flew and texted my youngest son, and I just put, "Are you all right?" I just, oh, and he said, "You you must be psychic." I just, went down on the freeway on his motorcycle. So, mine are mostly around my kids. Okay. And some of the things that come out of my mouth that are unexpected, like about an earthquake or something like that, I'll say a sentence and then the earthquake usually hits the next day. Um, let's see this one. Yes, they do, mostly to me and people around me. Yeah. I'm not one like somebody will see a vision or they dream an airplane accident or anything like that. Mine is usually connected right around me. So I think that that's what's happening with you too. Christy, let's see. Hi, Christy. Christy says, I'm hearing a lot of moving around where no one is moving. And visitors. Yeah, I'm getting more and more people, and spirits coming in. Christy, what used to happen to us so I have a big house and a second story, and there would be like somebody had a box of books and just let them go and bam on the floor. And I heard it all the time. My husband heard it all the time. And we'd run up and we look, and it's one of the empty bedrooms, and we're going like, nothing here, and then we have an attic on top of that, so we're not gonna hear anything on the roof. And so we just didn't go up and look anymore because it was be a big bam, falling and hitting, a big bam. Then they went into, hitting on the door, one of the interior doors, and they'd knock 3 times, usually at 3 a.m. It was just like really spooky. But they do that. And if you guys think it's wonderful, we have a ghost and we love that stuff and things move and all that, then that's fine. If it's disturbing, especially kids or anything, then you want to go get that out. And it's not mean that it doesn't mean that it's not friendly or anything, but if it is something that is annoying or disturbing, then get it out. And you guys, let me tell you this. I have the warfare prayer that Samantha, oh gosh, I can't remember her last name, that was written by a demonologist. And so Samantha E. Harris. And so if you need it, something dark in your, house or around you or anything, more than what you can move out, then just let me know and I'll send it to you. Psychicfixes@gmail. Because sometimes spirits come in. If you don't ward your house and keep them out and put a defense up or ask your angels to protect it, they just come in to see, can you talk to me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Type of thing. And I think that's what's going on. And this is interesting. Melanie, you get messages of dreams and forms of puzzles to figure out. Oh gosh, that's so interesting. Like, would it pertain to anything, a person or anything, or just a puzzle? A regular puzzle? Because that's really interesting. Sometimes we have these logical minds, and they are working and, figuring out stuff in our head. So, but sometimes we have little messages we have to figure out. Let's see, Erica. Hi, Erica. Erica Bird is a very good reader, you guys, and also she has delves into all kinds of things. So very, very psychic. So Atlas readings by Erica, I think. Um, let's see. I think we had an earthquake yesterday, but in Michigan, that's they're not aren't common. Okay. Sometimes we do get those geographically or whatever. We not geographically, but we can get tremors and we can get things. I'm in California, so we just don't even think about it. It's either at the military or shooting off stuff, and we can go on and look at that if the military is doing anything. Otherwise, we have the earthquake. So, as far as the earthquake goes, I was talking to my husband and I said, gee, we haven't really talked about our one son about what to do in an earthquake. I just kind of out of the blue in the house, I said it out and it didn't mean anything till the next day when we had a really big earthquake. So I always, sometimes when you say something nonchalantly and it just doesn't register in the conversation, why did you say that? Then you have to go look at it, maybe write it down. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Carlos, I remember that. Let's see. Let's look at this. Noises lately, too, and thought it was just you, or your dog. Your pets are really good. Cats are really good at like staring at spirits and stuff like that. And you can't discount when your pet, your cat or your dog, and it reacts and it barks and it's alerted and it goes after a corner or it's afraid, something like that. You can't all of a sudden they go after something and they're barking right in the corner. You can't just discount that because you know the behavior of your pet. And so, but I have so many people would send pictures of their cats, just like their eyes are this big and all of them are staring, on the wall. Sometimes you wonder they should do a cartoon about that. And the cat's thinking, well, I really freaking out my owner. So, but yeah, and especially if your dog reacts to the actual movement from a spirit, because they can knock things over and all of that. Well, a lot of people that are into the paranormal will keep bells up, and I have some bells, so they'll ring if a spirit comes in or an earthquake, but they'll ring, and we have like I have my periscope. Um, where do I have it up behind me? K2 meter, things like that you can put up and they'll light up. They're not just to light up when you have a spirit there, but they're to light up to communicate. And so a lot of K2 meters are inexpensive. Turn them on. And when you get something in and they're blinking, then you start talking to it. Yes, no questions like a pendulum, right? Yes, no. And then when they light, it will, you can have a conversation. So, and this is a periscope. So this will go off this way. And of course, they have one that goes all the way around. I love the little gadgets. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's more movements going on right now. I should, at some point look into that and see what does it mean that there's more movement going on in the house and all of that. Um, Melanie says nightmares are connected to entity attachments. Okay. I can see that for sure. I think also like my nightmares growing up was a stupid movie about robots taking over New York. And I would vividly have that over and over. So I think nightmares are different things also. And one would be that we saw a scary story, a scary movie, or your brain is just working that way. I don't hardly remember my dreams. I remember my nightmares, which is interesting. So, I mean, absolutely, entities, Melanie, and you can say give me comments. Entities, and attachment, they're really take over the life, people's luck, people's, you know, um, um, how they feel. And a lot of times when we have sad entities, or if you go into a place that's a sad place, then there drains your energy and makes you sad and all of that. Or some people can even take on, if the spirit was angry, or if there was a murder, something went on, they can get agitated. A lot of times at the 10th Avenue Art Center, when we would have our tour, we had people that would go into this one of the theaters and just go to their knees, get nauseous, and want out. So we always are careful about clearing, so we don't have an attachment. But someday we should talk about, getting rid of attachments. It doesn't have to be expensive or anything like that. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking to see what everybody. Hi, Robin. How are you? And, oh, Christy, you have some of those gadgets? Like, I have a little spirit box. Usually Chris Oliver, she, has, all the big stuff and all the neat stuff. But I have K2 meter, and I have a spirit box, and I have a periscope, and I have the recorder and those type of things. And they're fun. They're fun. I just don't have a lot of patience in sitting and listening to the EVPs. Do you? Do you listen to EVPs? And for me, sometimes you can get the word that they're saying so clear. But sometimes I go, have you guys ever watched the TV ones? And then something goes, like 80, and then people go, yes, my grandmother's here in spirit also. And you're going, how did you get that out of that? But, I do like to use that. Okay, let me see what else we have. Is what safe to have, Debbie? Carlos says. The Okay, if you want to keep spirits away, then don't bring anything to connect with them and communicate, because they will come around if they think there's somebody that's psychic or there's a way to communicate. Then they want to be heard. They want to tell their story mostly. They're good at that. Or they want to acknowledge. I had a bunch of friends after going to this one cemetery a lot. My friends got their friends, and they're older people, and they went and they had their little, like, you can put an app, Ovilus app or something, ghost app on, and over it was asking where Debbie was. Debbie's not here. So let's see. Oh gosh. Let me look. This is interesting, Melanie. AI robots may be doing that soon enough. Um, it is kind of crazy. I'm excited about AI. I wish people weren't so afraid of it, but I always say technology comes first before any rules, right? We needed to have something in place, knowing that this was coming, and it presents, and then everybody goes crazy. It's beneficial in a lot of ways. It's going to be very beneficial in a lot of ways, but then it's going to be very horrible when the people start abusing it. But I can see, we have the apps already that speak to us, but usually just words. And now Janine and Chris, when they go out, they'll use one, only supposed to have a word, and they'll get a whole full sentence. So that's where that manipulation goes, either between the mediums, psychics, or the other side manipulating the technology. So it's interesting. But yeah, I'm sure that there'll be AI psychic readers. Please don't spend your money on that. But I do believe that technology can be affected by entities. So, but I think that the natural ability that comes into some people is really is going to be caught, and given to the person getting the reading. Carlos says, protect your energy always, always. If anybody doesn't know how to protect your energy, but you want to know how the Wiccan way is, Psychic Fixes at Gmail. I'll send you a little booklet on how to put protections in your house. Okay, it'll go through your yard. It'll go through your house. What to put in and how to ward it so that nothing can get in. All right. Um, you have nightmares all the time. Um, well, Kim, you have this psychic ability, and you have this energy in your house. I believe you have a home by where there were natives, Americans, ancestors and different people living on. So you have a lot of energy going there. So you have to just kind of shield yourself. If the nightmares are yours, fine, you can deal with it. But if they're not, if they're coming in, and that's where you have to shield yourself there. Let me get a little sip of water. Let's see. Melanie says, let me see. I love this conversation. You get flustered and irritated abruptly. I clear myself. How do you clear yourself? Now, I think it can be as easy as the white light around, the higher power. So mine would be the white light of Jesus Christ, because I go by God and Jesus. I have a whole bunch of people. So whatever that light is, just use that light. But I like white light around you as protection. Archangels, sage, holy water. There's so many things that you can use. When people go, I don't have anything in the house, I will say, I want you to go to the corners of the house and clap up to the ceiling. I said they don't like that, and they will leave. A lot of people believe you have to open a door and let them out. That's fine. People love the little things that we do on holidays. We're going to sweep out, the Wiccan thing, sweep it all out of the door. And that's fine. That's a visual thing. But you can just clap up, tell them to get out, and, and they'll go. But they can come back. People think of the old Dracula movie. They have to be invited in. They can just come in. They could just float in and put up wards, that white light is around my house, or I have this protection, the circle down below the house, around up the top. We have that. Just say it out. Nothing can get in, nothing harmful, whatever. A lot of people like their ghosts. I really like our friendly ghosts. But then when the things are taking stuff, and I'm like, could you bring that back? Have you guys done that? You have something right there, and it's right there, and it's not there. And so I'll tell them, when you're done with it, could you bring it back? Because I need it. And you'll find it right there. It's crazy, but it happens. All this stuff is crazy, but it happens, right? But clear yourself, but clear your house, anything like that. It's a good thing if you have an emotional thing and you feel like, I don't want it to go anywhere. Then a hand sign, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Whatever you want to do, just kind of a sign for that. Okay, Christy. Christy says, I've tried the EVPs, but haven't gotten much. I think I need a better device for it. Oh, I think I have it right here. Let me look, you guys. Give me like a minute. Here. All right. Okay. Is this it? Yeah. Let me look. Spirit box. Okay. So the spirit box is little, but you can put a microphone on it, and you can also put the earphones on and listen. And I don't even have it charged up, but I don't really use it unless I go on an investigation. So you could do something like that. But Chrissy, I absolutely love the apps. There used to be one called iOvilus, and if you guys have good ghost apps, go ahead and put it into the comments. And they come up, and it's relevant. The words that come up have meaning. The fun thing is when you put it on your phone, the app, and then it will start telling your name and other family members' names, and you go, where'd that come from? And then the story. So I have people that use their apps and they don't get anything. I turn mine on and it's a whole big story. There's a whole big story. I'm a captain and I was in the war and I have treasure or whatever. I'm on a ship and I came, to the coast. It'll just keep going on. And if I have people over, I just stick the pillow over it because you can go back and look at the list that they said. And sometimes if you take it into a place where there was somebody was killed or whatever, it'll say murder, murder, murder. So, and those are fun because you can actually see the words. And if you get a bunch of junk, then you go, oh, it's nothing. But if I'm going to tell you, most of the time you put it up, there's something that comes in common, someone's name, some kind of thing. So those are always fun. Those are always fun. The sound recordings to me they're just too much. I'm all about validation. It's got to be really good. But when you watch these shows on TV and they will have the EVP and then along with it, they'll say the words, you tend to go, oh, yeah, that sounded like it because I don't know. But it's because you saw the words. So you have to be very discerning because one thing that we want to do is not perpetuate anything that's a myth. We want to find real evidence. And so I feel like those ovuluses are really good, those apps. Hopefully you guys have some and you can write them in there. That would be great talk in clearing for entities. Yes. Again, you can get my book for free. I'll send it to you in digital form. But let me tell you what I do because protection is my thing. And I go on any kind of a investigation, I'm doing it. So I take a baggie. Well, I take holy water. So you can go get it at a church, put it in a clean container. It's holy water. So it's really just blessed, right? You can make your own. So you can go online and see. It's very easy. You get a container, you put tap water in it, you put your hand over it in whose power? You could, if you go for God, in the name of God, in the name of whatever, I consecrate this water for the intention of what you want to use it for. How about protection? And then amen or whatever you want to say and put the cap on it. You have holy water. Okay. But you can go, if you feel like you need a priest to bless it, go get some. It's free. Just get a gold container, come home. I have big spray bottles like this and I fill it. And then I write on it that it is holy water. I don't want anybody drinking it or spraying it in their face or anything like that because that water is not purified, right? And can, have bacteria in it. So we never drink holy water. I have known so many people that have done that because they thought that would, heal them. That's not a good thing to do. Okay. So lots of ways that we can do it. But I always have that in my kit. And I have a sandwich bag with a Ziploc. And so I take salt. I have over 60,000 people went to Psychic Fixes on YouTube and looked at my salt video. And it talks about how to get rid of it, especially if you use it to get negative energies in and stuff like that. And so I use any salt. People get mad at me when I say salt is salt. Oh no, because we have the pink salt and we have the gray salt, we have this. And I said, I'm not getting into any other minerals in it or where it was. Salt is what you use, whatever salt that you have when you are going to take care of stuff. So Robin, what I do is I take it and then I have white sage, any kind of sage, and it's dried and I chop it up, break it up, and I put it in there in the baggie, mix it up. Now, this is what I love. I went on to someone's house, a residence that had a portal in the nursery. So the little girl was looking at the portal and talking, and they didn't like that. So we went there, but I noticed that my friend Sean, who is from another country, had a little thing of foil with something in it, and he was lighting it. And I said, "It smelled so good." I said, "What do you have?" He said, "It's wild rue, R-U-E seed, wild rue seed. If you were to take a whiff of it, it's like chocolate. Think chocolate, take a whiff, and you go, chocolate." But he said it was a very powerful Persian item that they use to light as like incense that banishes evil things. So I would buy the wild rose seed and put it in there. And I would mix those three things together and I take it with me. And if anything happens, I would throw it. I would just throw it out. So when Janine was at Pioneer Park, there's a tree that goes after her all the time. It's a huge tree and it has these like big berries on it and it slings it sideways or down at her and hits her. And it's funny. Well, I'll be there. Nobody gets hit, and she gets whacked and whacked. Well, one day we were there, and we have a tour, and up above at the top of the tree was a dark portal, and both Sean and Janine saw it. And within that portal was even a darker entity. So they knew it was evil. They started getting scratched and they got me on the walkie talkie. So I left my group with somebody and I ran to them, first aid. And she says, I think somebody needs to take care of that portal. So I went with my scrabbly juice. I call it, it's not wet. And I said prayers all around and I threw around the tree. And they said they watched the portal because I'm under it, the portal go gone. Okay. So if you can get wild rue, I think you can get it World Market, place like that, or online, I'm sure, and put those three things together. And there you go. You have something very powerful. We're talking about entities there. This was a very powerful one, but believe me, there's a level of ones that are not going to, they're harmless to, we're going to bite and scratch to demons and higher. So when you're getting to a demon, you need to get help. Some people can do it, but usually help. The first time, if you don't know what you're doing, the first time that you try to get rid of something that's in the higher levels, they get pissed off and it gets worse. And I tell people that if you're going to try to do this, you're going to find that they're going to do more damage, more things. Do it again. You have to do it again. And then finally, they'll banish the entity. But those are two of the things that I use all the time. Okay. So here's everybody can chime in for Kim. Is it an attachment causing the nightmares or entities in the house? So the one comment was that the nightmares are attached entities. Well, we can see that sounds logical to me, but they're also like childhood nightmares. Mine was about a movie, and our brain is crazy and can make up stories. I think everybody's different, but when you have attachment or entities, I should say, in the house, then they're going to influence anyway. Okay. They're going to influence. So best to just get them out. And I know, Kim, you know how to do it and you have the power to do that. Okay. Oh, the gadget is okay to have, but if you don't want to communicate or bring entities in, then don't have them. Okay? If you're interested in communicating with them and maybe you're not a strong medium and you're not hearing them and things like that, and you want to have that, or you want to go on paranormal investigations, then that's fine. But otherwise I wouldn't be, they're always looking to get in to communicate. And if you have paranormal stuff, they're like, yay, this is the house. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, Robin. Yeah, there's a reason you wake up. So, Robin, my story was I thought that I was waking up at 3 a.m. and I thought that the witching hour, because I grew up watching TV, the witching hour is midnight. The witching hour is midnight. Why am I waking up at 3? This is crazy. Until the bam, bam, bam on the interior door. 3 a.m. every night. And finally, I yelled out and I said, I have to sleep and you will not ever hit 3 bams and wake me up at 3 a.m. And all it was we're here. This is when we're the strongest. This is when our energy is the strongest. And that's why. To have anything stop, um, if nobody's making noises or anything, you talk to your guides. And I really don't want to wake up at 2 or 3 and that time, and then make sure that everything entities are shut out of your house, and it's warded. So people come into my house for my meetups, because I have, like, what is it, 780 people in my meetups. They just go, oh, it's so great. The atmosphere in your house is so wonderful. And I said, yeah, it takes work to keep it that way, you know, and to keep it warded and safe. And so, again, you guys can just get a hold of me. I'll send you my book on that. Okay. So talk to Archangel Michael, Robin, and ask him. He's a very strong one, and say, could you just, I allow you to be in my house, or post you at the roof. Don't let anybody in, because I want to sleep. I remember I just yelling, I need to sleep. Let's see. Melanie, you use your pendulum and connect to your higher self, or ask for guidance from your team. Also, snap my fingers. There you go. Snapping your fingers. Sometimes they just don't like that. They don't like certain sounds. Okay. We're going to keep going down here. This is fun. You keep clear your field, fix the tears. What does that mean? The tears, fix the tears. Clear my field, fix the, tears. Okay, I get it. The tears, and call in the columns of light. So I do things a little bit differently, where I put the shield up in parts, all the way up, under the house, all the way up around the house. Just hit my laptop. So if you are a person that can go and see this shield, and you see tears in it or something, you're going to want to mend those. Yeah, a little bit of extra light there, and you use a column of light. That's really good. It really does keep them out, because when I ward my area, then I don't have the things flying. How much money I'd have if I had cameras up in my house, because I've had the things floating across the room and moving and doing all kinds of things. So coming up, I was with a friend, and we have some kind of connection. We put our hands together, and it's like a little, like, lightning, electric, really uncomfortable, bzzzt, between our hands. And then we saw the cards coming up, the tarot cards. So that's our energy, but those things that float and everything, that's an entity doing that. And if you ward, then they instantly go away and stay out. Yeah, people want to talk at 3, Melanie. Okay, here we go. Chrissy says, yes, I use the Spirit Talker app. Okay. And you got your dad and your grandmother's name yesterday after you were hearing movement upstairs. Oh my gosh. See, what are the odds? It's got a vocabulary, and it goes through stuff, and it picks out 2 names like that. That's really great. And that's communication. One time I was at my niece's, and we had tea, and the string was down in the teacup, on the side. And the lights started going, because all my life, the lights do stuff. I go in the grocery store, the whole bank of lights over top of me in the aisle will go blink, 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 blink. I turn the corner, they're solid, and that one goes blink, 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 blink. So I've always had that kind of stuff happen. So we were sitting there, and the lights started going. So my niece started talking and asking it if it was my mother, her grandmother, and the string came up and went straight. And it did it twice. So we go, we know we're talking to her, So let's see what else. And Melanie said, I had a ghost app on my phone and always tracked the spirit stream. Yeah. And Carlos Carlos likes sea salt. It's your preference what you want. I used to go to a grocery store. It was has starts with an R, and they used to have on their deli top containers of every kind of clay type of salt, any black salt, every kind of salt, and it would tell what country it's from and everything, and it was under $2. So I was buying all that stuff because I thought it was really fun, and I do a lot of rituals, and I use a lot of things like that, products like that. So the but when and people love whatever they want to do. I always say this, like there's two ways that you can do stuff. One is like if you wanted to pray to God, you can go sit on a rock under a tree and pray and commune and all of that. The other thing, if that's not good for you, want more opulence, then you can go to a church that does all kinds of things and brings in incense and does all this creative stuff. There's nothing wrong about that. It's all this really the same. So that's why I look at salt. If you want the expert salt, you want the Himalayan salt, you want whatever in your dealings, go ahead. But you can use plain old salt. Okay. It's all up to what you want to do. And if you want to save money, it's plain old salt. You're welcome. Uh, and Carlos says, the brain is crazy, moon energy. We are affected by, like, the earth is to the tides and all of that. The moon is got a lot of power. And people think, oh, it's a full moon. We're going to go out and we're going to do this big thing and we're going to light these candles and we're going to do this. That's great. There's good energy there. But do not discount that there's energy every night. So if you want to go out and do a ritual tablescape, I used to do them all the time. The new moon, the full moons, and certain things that were going on. And I used to do it for my clients. This was the thing I would do. I would dedicate a table with everything on it that they needed to bring in what they want to manifest in. And so you can do it anytime. And the only thing I tell people is please, especially if you live in a place that is humid and fog comes in, don't put your tarot cards out because they don't like water. So don't discount that you can't put this in a windowsill at a full moon. Okay. It works. You don't have to have it outside. That's the one thing. Also, if people like selenite, things like that, know your stones. Where do I have that? I just bought let me see if I have it. Oh my goodness. Here it is. I just bought this for Maddie Tarot. It's a big book and it's very inexpensive. The Book of Stones. And so there was a geologist that wrote in this and a metaphysical person. So you're going to get a lot of information. It's really great. It has color pictures and all of that. There's some stones that can't get wet or in water. Selenite's one of them because it'll dissolve, right? So know your stones. This is really good. I think a orb went by. Know your stones and use them, in whatever you want to. I just look them up sometimes if I forget or I get something new and I go, what's the power in that? I'll ask the internet and they'll tell me. But this is a great resource. It's a great gift if you let me see if I can show you. And I don't get money for this or anything, but this is really a great book. So anyway, I I I give it to a couple of people because it's inexpensive, but it's huge. Very, very good. So know your stones and know what not to put outside. You can leave it inside. There's plenty of stones. You know what? Kim, I was going to offer readings, but this is only a half-hour show. So I've got to go. I have a client right after this, and I'm over my time right now. But Maddie, Tarot, and I are doing readings tomorrow night. 6:30 p.m. Pacific on Maddie Tarot YouTube, Psychic Fixes YouTube, and streaming to Facebook, Psychic Fixes. So I'm sorry I'm not, it didn't end up that way, but I think that this is really great, messages and how to do stuff tonight. So I think I feel really good about us spending that time. Carlos says, I did a lot of releasing yesterday and you wrote out your petition and you burned it. That is such a popular way. A lot of people will get a bay leaf. And I've done this, but I use a Sharpie thin Sharpie, the thinnest one they have, because they're kind of fragile. And you just write your message on it or a word. And I have a little chimney and you put it in there and light it and let it go up and send your message that way. There's a lot of ways that you can send messages by even just speaking it out. Please, when you're talking to entities, speak it out. They do not have telepathy. And I found out why. I got a story about that, but I'm not going to go through that. But I found that I went, oh, you guys can't read my mind. So my belief, and from what I found out, that the spirits that come in and stuff, they can't read your mind. But we go up the chain, and when we get to our guides and we get to the archangels and we get to the higher power, Jesus or God or whoever you go to, they can, but the other ones can't. And so if you're like thinking at them and they're not giving you a sign, they're not communicating, speak it out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go. And this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. Janine should be back with our ghost stories next Sunday. And she felt really bad she couldn't make it tonight. But I said, well, I'll be here. We'll figure out something to do. So this was really great. And I appreciate all of you hanging in there and all your comments and all of that. You know that our shows go to like 300 people or more. Sometimes one time I was on, I had 1,400 people see it. And so your comments are seen over and over by other people. So it's really great. It's very informative of them to get your opinions, and I really appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow, Carlos. Thank you for coming in. And tomorrow I'm playing trivia with us. Maybe you'll win an Amazon gift card when we play trivia at 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow, and then Wednesday and Friday, Maddie Tarot and I'll be on. David Starlight is here on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. He's here at 2 p.m. Pacific time because he's in Australia just getting up in the morning. So you can ask him questions. He's very much educated to the Buddhist ways, and he has 2 master's degree, and he's a healer. And so do come in and talk to him and he'll do a reading for you. Okay. That's Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Pacific on Psychic Fixes. And he's also a Starlight Mental Health, I think, on Facebook. And he has a YouTube channel for David Starlight. But Starlight is L-Y-T-E, Star L-Y-T-E. All right, you guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming in and spending this